Hey y'all, it's your Missniecytv, and I'm here to do a review for Zatima Season 3, Episode 20. The episode picks up where it left off, and Fatima calls Zach and Leslie in the bed, and Zach is like, what? He realizes that it's Fatima standing there, and he's like, who's this in the bed? Then he looks down, and he's like, Leslie, oh no, you gotta get out of here. Fatima's like, Leslie, get out my house before I kill you. Fatima, if this was the old you and you wasn't pregnant, you would have shot up the whole house. The old Fatima needs to make a return real quick. At least drag her by her hair down the stairs or something. Slap her around a little bit. Zach is like, Leslie, you gotta go, you gotta get out of here. And I'm like, Tyler Perry keeps writing the same scenes in different fonts. Leslie leaves and it's just Fatima and Zach talking, but Zach is standing there naked. And I'm like, you can't have a serious conversation with him there naked, right? Fatima's like, how couldn't you tell that wasn't me? Zach is like, well, she had a cupcake, but she be caking, so I couldn't really tell. I'm like, Zach, you couldn't feel a bump? Fatima might not be that far along, but I know she has a little something. And then Fatima has the nerve to say, how did she get in the house? Girl, you should know. You're the one that told her where the spare key was. You didn't think she was going to use it. Zach tells Fatima that you could see that she's growing because if this was the old her, she would have shot up the house by now. I'm like, well, the old her needs to return. This is exactly why you don't tell people where your spare key is. Zach is trying to sleep with her since he's naked, right? She's like, nah, I ain't sleeping with you. You gotta wash some sheets first. Zach is like, well, you wash the sheets and I'll see if she left. Fatima's like, no, you gonna wash the sheets and I'll see if she left. It's the day of the funeral and the preacher's up there preaching a eulogy about how Gladys was a good woman, but drugs made her turn out the wrong way. She always came to the church and asked the pastor to pray for her. Of course, the pastor's gonna say that she was a good woman because she was always on her knees for him. Some of these pastors be crooked. They be sleeping with their congregation members and still trying to act holier than hell, baby. The pastor goes on to talk about how Gladys loved and cared for Zach. I don't know what love he was seeing, but Gladys definitely did not love Zach. I just wanted to take a second to say I commend DeVal's acting in this scene because he was present physically, but his mental was not there at all. He didn't feel no type of way. He did not cry. He's not wrong for not showing any emotion because Gladys didn't treat him like she was his mother. She treated him like he was a person on the street. After the pastor's done his eulogy, the choir sings, Pass me not, O gentle Savior, and they sound like a whole opera. I thought I at least was going to hear Precious Lord once, but I guess that wasn't one of Gladys' favorite church songs. We see Jeremiah come into the church looking all tore up, marching down the aisle like he was a part of the choir or the usher. When I tell you this scene took me out, cause why they got that man coming in there with a pimp hat, some Chuck Taylors, and half tucked in. Jeremiah finally makes it to where Zach and Fatima are after looking like Fantasia walking into that church. He's like, y'all ain't saying no room for me. Zach is like, he's high. Fatima's like, I know, but I got you. It's gonna be alright. Zach is like, no, they ain't got time for this. Jeremiah's like, I want to see Mama one last time. Why y'all got the casket closed? Jeremiah, she was on drugs. Who would want to see her casket? Oh yeah, you're high too, so you ain't got no logic and you're not thinking clearly. Fatima offers to take him outside so that they could talk. Zach is like, if you take him somewhere and he puts his hands on you, all bets are off. Fatima's like, it's okay, I got it. He ain't gonna do nothing. Fatima looks around for help. At first, she's looking for Nate and Tony, and Nate is like, I'm not helping him, he's high. Then, Angela out of nowhere says, Bryce, you should go help. Bryce is like, no, he looks mad. I don't want to. Nate and Tony get Jeremiah outside. Of course, he's acting like a typical crackhead at a funeral, acting like, why they put me out? Like, nigga, you came in there acting like a blunt fool. So Fatima's outside talking to Jeremiah, and she's like, can you get him some coffee? And Nate is like, I don't think coffee's gonna help with the drugs he's. Fatima's like, don't you see how beautiful this service is? Don't you want to honor your mother's legacy? We got her favorite flowers. Basically, she told Jeremiah, you better go in here and act like you got some sense. Jeremiah is like, why are you being so nice to me, Fatima? Fatima's like, I care about. When Angela comes outside and she lets Fatima know that it's her turn to sing, I guess Fatima's singing her selection at the funeral. Of course, Crystal's going to eat the girls up and sing the house down. Fatima goes in and she sings How Great Thou Art, and she sounds great. She always sounds great when she sings. I'm glad the show has finally given her opportunity to sing. After Fatima gets done singing, the pastor's like, it's time for remarks. Her son would like to speak. Jeremiah's like, her son? You mean her sons? Zach is like, if he wants to speak, let him speak. He wants to speak so bad. I want to hear what he has to say. The pastor basically tells Jeremiah that he's not allowed in the pulpit under his condition, and Jeremiah is like, my condition? Jeremiah lets it be known that Miss Gladys and the pastor used to get down. She used to be on her knees. Of course, the pastor says that Jeremiah is lying, but we could tell that pastor is crooked from the way he just... The pastor is so mad at Jeremiah out on him, he says that the funeral's over, but Jeremiah is like, ain't nothing over. Let me tell you about my mom. He's like, she was a good woman, and when I was a little boy, I used to do this dance for her, and I want to do this dance one last time. And he started shimmying. When I tell you I was hollering, those shoulders are moving, boy. And I'm like, I wonder how many times I had to shoot the scene, because if I was dying laughing at home, I know that we're dying laughing while shooting. Over at Zach and Fatima's, it's time for the repast, and Angela's telling Bryce that he should go check on Zach. And Bryce is like, I don't think it's a good idea. Angela, I don't know why you try to force this friendship. Zach already forgave him. I don't know why you try to make them close. So Bryce and Angela are talking to Fatima, and Bryce asks Fatima, how's Zach doing? She's like, he's okay for the most part. Angela interjects and she's like, I was just telling Bryce that you should go check on Zach. Fatima's like, I don't think that's a good idea. So when Bryce leaves, Fatima tells Angela, why would you tell Bryce to go check on Zach? Angela was like, I was just trying to help their friends. Fatima's like, Bryce stole Zach's money. Then Preston comes to talk to Fatima. He's like, how's Zach doing? Can I go check on him? Fatima's like, I was actually going to go check on him right now, but he's like, can you keep eyeing everybody though, especially that one? And that's when Belinda walks up. Fatima goes upstairs and she has a conversation with Zach. She asks Zach, is he okay? And he's like, I honestly don't know how to feel. He's like, I honestly don't feel sad. Does that make me a bad person? Fatima's like, no. I would look at you kind of weird if she treated you nice and you still don't feel bad. But she didn't treat you like you were her son. Because Gladys treated him like he was another nigga on the street, not like her son. She didn't love him or nothing. Like, I honestly feel relieved that she's gone because I don't have to worry about her or what's going to happen to her or happen to me. But Zach tells Fatima that he's going to talk to Dr. Reed about his grief on Monday. Then they have this sentimental conversation. Fatima's like, everything's going to be okay. Zach is like, I know everything's okay because I got to treat you. Fatima's like, we're not going. He's like, thank you for loving me. Fatima's like, will you make it easy? Sometimes. Fatima's like, well, you're doing better. Zach is like, well, will you tell me when I'm not doing better? Fatima's like, of course I will, because we've been through too much. Zach is like, I've never had somebody love me in the way that you do. Fatima's like, well, you should tell Connie that. Zach is like, what? I'm going to tell her that. Fatima's like, we've been through a lot, and she grew on me, and I want to give her a chance, and I'm showing that I'm secure. Fatima's like, trust me, you know what you got, and I'm not jealous of a downgrade. Then they talk about Preston and him being downstairs, and they talk about his intrusiveness. And Fatima's like, is that a white people thing? Because we ain't ever done. Speaking of Preston, he's standing there on his phone and Deja approaches him like, who invited you to the repast, Deja? I don't know. But she approaches him like, are you a real cowboy? Preston's like, yeah. She's like, so that means you're not right. Preston's like, of course. Then they start talking about him being with Danny. Basically, after all that banter, Deja and Preston exchange numbers. Zach comes downstairs to mingle with everybody, and he first stops to talk to Preston, and they have a conversation. He's like, thank you for being there for me. Preston's like, you know, I got you. Is there anything else you need? Then they talk about the money. He tells Zach not to worry about it. Talks to Connie, and he's like, you know you're very strong, right? Zach is like, a little bit. Connie's like, well, you got that one by your side. Zach is like, I know. Then Connie's like, I want to say a couple words about Miss Gladys. And then she brings up this ice cream story. And it's dark because Zach said she beat him up for that ice cream. And he ended up in the hospital. Connie's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up, but we could laugh. Connie goes on to say that Miss Gladys will be proud of him for the man that he become and how he grew and how his relationship is making him a better person. And Connie's like, I always have a lot of respect for you and Fatima. Connie's like, it could never be me. And Fatima's like, it will never ever be you. And then Connie's like, maybe one day we could be friends or whatever. Fatima's like, yeah, whatever. She's like, I just love Zach. Me and Zach are family, and that's when Tony and Nate stand up, and she's like, yeah, we're all family. We might be dysfunctional and messy, but we family, and we got each other's backs. Over to this side, Belinda and Angela have a conversation, and Angela's like, so you really with Nate? Belinda's like, it's complicated. Angela's like, you know you shouldn't be here, right? Belinda's like, why? Because of Fatima? And they start being messy, talking about Connie and how Fatima's watching Connie with both of her side eyes. That's when Jeremiah runs in like, you gotta help me, they after me. And Zach is like, what the heck is wrong with you? That's when Big Rebo and his guys comes in and they're like, where the heck is he at? Zach is like, y'all gotta leave my house. Then he turns around and look at Fatima, and Fatima puts her hand on her belly. The silent signal like, if you do something stupid, you're gonna lose me and the baby. So he changes his tone and he's like, gentlemen, can you please leave my house? Big Repo and the guys were leaving, but Jeremiah took it upon himself to sneak Big Repo from behind, and it turned into a big brawl. Everybody was fighting everybody. Of course, Jeremiah gotta be the one to start the problems. They was leaving. You started it. Now you put Fatima's life at danger, because the next thing you know, Big Repo pulls out his gun and he starts shooting. But he shoots in the direction where Fatima was standing. All we hear Zach say is Fatima like his life flashed before his eyes. All I know is that the baby better be okay, and Fatima too. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn your bell notifications. Bye!